Hi, friends. It's Pat Sloan here, and it is Monday. It is our spooky Monday right now. And guess what? I had to go and ask Melissa Mortenson of Polka Dot Chair if she would join me. And so there she is. Hi, Melissa.
Hey, Pat.
This is so fun to have you on. We are enjoying your fabric and your sampler so much.
Oh, thank you. That makes me feel good. You design things and you just never know if people are going to like them or not. So,
Well, as soon as I saw that, I'm like, I need to do a sew along for that. It is so darn cute. And the little fabrics, just love them. Love them. Oh, can you tell everybody like what part of the country are you in the US?
So I'm in Louisville, Kentucky. So kind of not quite in the middle, the eastern middle, I guess.
Yes, yeah.
Consider ourselves the South. So
yes, it's a nice area. I've been there a couple times for work. It is gorgeous. Yeah, so I thought we'd start out. We'll just start out with the spooky sampler. So here is a gorgeous box. Were you surprised? Like, did the box come out better than you thought? It's like,
yeah, actually, what's funny is I didn't get a box because they sold through them all, which is good. So I bought one for me. Like, I ordered one from a website and got it. So
I would totally do that too. I would totally do that too. It's like all of a sudden you're like, wait, I missed out on my own stuff.
Like, I want one of the boxes. Yes, I am very happy with how the box turned out.
So tell me a little bit about, did the sampler come first and then the fabric, or fabric and then sampler?
So the fabric was first. I am a huge Halloween fan. I always have been ever since I started like sewing Halloween costumes for my kids. And I just approached Riley Blake. I said, would you let me do a Halloween line? And they're like, well, send us some sketches and we'll see. And so it kind of went back and forth over 4 or 5 months. And then we got a fabric collection that we liked. And they're like, okay, well, we need a quilt.
Yeah.
So I had to, I think, so it's kind of crazy because I feel like it takes months to design a fabric line. And then, at least with me, when I get to the end, the quilt, they're like, okay, well, in a week, we need a quilt pattern. Right. So you're just like trying really hard, like, and you don't want to do something somebody else has done, and it needs to be fresh for not the stuff that I've done. So I went back to an older pattern that I have called Derby Sampler, like the Kentucky Derby. Mm-hmm. And it's one of my favorite patterns that I had designed. And I thought, oh, it might be fun to kind of turn this into something Halloween-y. And I just kind of went and thought about like what would be fun to sew a Halloween block out of, and just kind of started messing around with designs until I came up with a bunch of blocks that I liked. So
I love the format of it and the size. It's such a great size. So it's very usable, and it also can go on the wall. So for those like,
we like to use the quilts in our house, and we're all pretty tall, so they have to cover our toes. So that's how it works.
My brother says when I send him something, can you send me a bigger one? Because I'm tall. That's like
yeah, my kids are always like, this one doesn't cover my toes. I'm like, you'll do it again. So
on the fabric, there were a few images that you mentioned were drawn from real life, from your children.
Yeah, so I have boy-girl twins. They're both 20 now. And then I have an older daughter that's 25. And one year, my twins went as mummies. And I always wanted to match them for Halloween. And I think this was the last year that I was able to like make them match for Halloween, because after that, they started having a lot more opinions. But we just designed these kind of costumes on the fly, and I cut up a bunch of scraps of fabric and hand stitched them onto sweats, and my niece took some cute pictures for me, and it's just always been one of my favorite like costumes, and the pictures came out so cute. So when I started designing the line and thinking I kind of wanted to go in the direction of little kids out trick-or-treating on Halloween night, I immediately went to that mummy that was my son. So he's 20 now, so he's all grown up.
All grown up. Yeah. They get that way somehow that happens.
Fortunately and unfortunately. So.
Yes. The images really are darling, and they all have I like the pumpkin head girl. That's that's
also a costume that was my son. So but I changed it, so we had some little girls on it too. Yeah. But No, so one year when we went to Disney World for Halloween party, he wanted something interesting and he just hated every costume idea I came up with. And we were at Target and he picked up this giant jack-o'-lantern, like literally this big of a jack-o'-lantern. He says, "Can you just cut a hole in this?" And I was like, I feel like someone's going to yell at me if I do this, but you know what? Let's just try it. So we cut a hole in it. And then my husband's really, really good with stuff. So he like patted it so he wouldn't hurt himself. And he wore, there's also a picture on the block there. He wore this giant pumpkin head with a black cape to the Halloween party at Disney World. I swear he didn't go more than like 10 feet and people were just like stopping him left and right. So he was, so that was another Halloween costume. This time I just changed it a little bit to kind of give it some variety. So
it is, they're just so darling. Now we broke, you and I talked about in advance because you let me know like how it was set up. And so we broke it into things to do each week. And you're doing demos, really wonderful demos of the blocks over on your Instagram account and the stories. Now, are those stories feeding to Facebook as well?
I don't think so. I am uploading them now as IGTVs because when I added stories, they disappear. But then also I know on Instagram, people don't like it when there's like a whole bunch of little clips. So I'm making them in the Instagram stories and Instagram IGTV, and then I'm posting them onto my YouTube as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Perfect. Down below, everybody, I will link to all of Melissa's places so you can go watch her videos, because this week we're doing the hats, the witches' hats. So if you're doing a costume with witches' hats, you must have one.
Yes. So the year that my son wore the giant pumpkin head, me and my two girls went as witches. So yes,
the hat is so darling.
Yeah, that was, I have a Halloween quilt pattern that's just witches hats that's been really popular. And so I thought, I don't want to do the exact same thing again, but it'd be fun to throw some into the quilt. Yeah. So
now the spider webs, there's 2 sizes. So we've got the little one and then the big one. Now I love the purple in here. Do you normally add purple in with your Halloween or?
Well, with Halloween, yes, but I just don't like the color I just don't like purple very much. So first time I worked with it, and actually when I got the strike ups from Riley Blake, I kept sending the purple back. Yeah. Like, no, it's not right. No, it's not right. I think they were like, we're going to find a purple you like. So we're just going with it. So
yeah. So there's like some real dark, and then like here, there's like in the little bag, it's got some purple in it. It's a little bag of.
Yeah, I tried to add some.
Yeah. Now these are so fun. Like I don't know that I've ever done a spider web before. So I was so excited about it.
This I would say I think is the most challenging block in the quilt, but it's definitely doable. So
now do you have a little tip for what you do for the middle that you'll be sharing?
So what I think is easiest to do is first to make sure you press your seams open on the strips before you cut the triangles instead of pressing to one side. And then I like to sew the like triangles in half. So also is there 3 or 4? I can't remember. I should have looked. So is there 8 altogether?
There's 4.
Yeah. So I sew like the 4 together first and make sure they're flat, and then sew the next 4 together, and then sew those 2 groups together. Yeah, because I think if you just sew them like this, after you get back around, you've got like a mess in the middle. So
yeah. So you're basically sewing one half, the upper half, and then the bottom half, and putting those 2 together.
And putting them together.
Yes. Well, we're just moving along with this. It's so that, it's amazing how quickly it goes once you start, doing the pieces. Okay. We're going to talk about some other things. But first of all, one more Halloween thing, because you did my book tour and you used your fabric for the pattern, the spooky twist in my holiday book, but you also talked a bit about the decorating in your home when you did that.
Yeah, so I like Halloween. My kids, before they left the house, they went and did Halloween with their friends. So they left me all by myself on Halloween, which I didn't love. But so we have a dark gray dining room, and we set the table. Also, this is another one with my son. I feel like we were at the mall once when he was little, and there was a furniture store that had their dining room table set up. And for Halloween, they had all these like Halloween characters like skeletons and werewolves and stuff all sitting around the table. And my son called it the store where the monsters are having a meeting.
Oh,
So that was like, so now what we do is I set at the beginning of October, I set my dining room table with like our Halloween dishes. And then I have 2 life-size skeletons that I put on each end of the dining room table. And usually we dress them up like Harry Potter characters or witches or something. I mean, it's sure everyone thinks it's weird, but it's kind of fun.
it is fun. It is totally fun. I mean, I think you have to have fun in life. It's like this is the things that make the memories and make it special. And can you imagine the stories your kids are going to have later on about growing up?
They'll all be good. They'll be like, my one daughter doesn't love Halloween as much as I do. She has a tendency to get scared. So she's probably going to tell everyone how I like tortured her or something. Right? Halloween. So
well, let's change gears a little bit. You're a fabric designer for Riley Blake, and you've done quite a few lines now. Did you have one that has sort of either a fun story or a memory or something that you could share with us?
Yeah, so I would say the one that I feel like stands out to me is my first Wonderland collection, which I had done one collection with Riley Blake that was Derby themed, and it was just a small collection, just 9 prints. And I was like, I really want to do another collection. I just want to not just have this be a one-time thing. So I started sending ideas to Riley Blake, and they're like, oh, we don't know. And I was sitting at dinner with my sister and her daughter, who was probably 4 at the time. And I was telling them, like, I don't know what to do. They don't like any of the stuff I'm sending them. And my little 4-year-old niece looks at me and says, will you please make me bunny fabric? And so me and my sister started sketching out little bunnies on the napkin. And then I kind of went back and started sketching them out. And I was like, oh, I feel like this is pretty cute. And sent it to Riley Blake. And they were like, yeah, it's okay. We'll try it. And ordered a very small quantity of it. And then it sold out like as soon as it got in. So I feel like that was like the line where I was kind of like, okay, I think I can do this. So it was, anyway, they're like, we're just not sure if people are going to buy fabric with bunny heads on it. Yeah. I'm like, I don't know. I'm new. So
you just never know, do you? I mean,
know.
It's like, it's a very interesting process putting the designs on and seeing what speaks to people, and it could speak to them one year and the next year it would have done different.
Yeah. So. Some of them that I've just loved, none of them have done poorly, but some of them that I've loved haven't done, like, I'll think, oh, this one's going to do better than this one, and it doesn't. So you just, you have no idea. So
just kind of enjoy the process and do the next one. It's like
just try to make stuff that I want to sew with, and hopefully somebody else wants to too.
I always love it. So I always love your fabric. Nice. So besides, doing the fabrics and the patterns, I mean, before this part of your business, you have had a super active online presence with your polka dot share site, because you do a lot of different things, not just quilting. How long have you been had your website online?
I think I was thinking, somebody asked me the other day, I should have checked, but it's either 2008 or 2009. So it's been a long time that it's been up there.
Yeah. What did you kick it off with? What did you actually start it with? What type of making?
It was sewing.
Okay.
And I will say there was sewing. I don't think I had a quilt on it for 2 or 3 years, maybe 3 or 4 years. And then a lot of holiday projects. And like, I had little kids at the time. So like teacher gift ideas and printables. It was kind of back when the internet, the blogs was first taking off, and you could kind of get away with doing a little bit of everything. And then just in the years since then, people have niched down their blogs more. So I will say it's niched down quite a bit, but I still don't want to only do quilting or something like that, because I just get bored, I guess. I just want to do lots of things.
Well, you have like a lot of creativity. So you have a lot of ideas. So you're working on something, you're like, oh, this would be cool to make, or, this could morph into that. Like, I love that you've done different things with like tennis shoes. So like dyeing them to like fabric shoelaces, and just those are always fun, because I mostly quilt now and do some cross stitch, but I used to do a lot of other things. So I like to see you do them.
Well, I feel like too, it helps. I mean, it's hard. You probably know this. Sometimes you get burnt out trying to keep up, because it's like a lot of work. Like, I work more than 40 hours a week most weeks. And so I try and do a variety of things to hopefully kind of stave off some of the burnout. I mean, every once in a while I just get burned out. There's nothing you can do about it. But I was like, if I kind of keep it mixed up a little, then
it keeps it
hopefully
interesting for yourself.
Yeah.
And yeah. So I was telling everybody when we started, I have a Wednesday sew along. It's a block a week, and it's called Summer Soiree. And at the same time, we were talking about your kid, and I was like, I should ask Melissa if she has a summer soiree of like party ideas out on her site, because you probably have something fun from. I know you have derby stuff.
Yeah, we have derby. I was gonna say, I don't know if we've done too much summer stuff. I have a flamingo party party that we did like a long time ago. That was before there was like party blogs, because now there's just a party blog. You can get like these amazing huge things, but we have a pool in our backyard, and usually we just like kind of do a potluck, and everybody comes and brings their kids and just hang out on a Saturday night. It's kind of our favorite thing to do. So
that's a summer soiree in my word. That's good. That's good. One of the other things that you do, and I thought we could talk just a little bit about it, because you love Disney, and you've done a lot of things with Disney themed, going to Disney. You do some work with Disney. And for me, I have never been to Disney, Melissa. And part of it might be because I lived in Europe from 5th grade until graduation from high school. And so it really was not in my world at all. Like it didn't exist for me. And so as an adult, I always thought, well, I want to go see Cinderella's castle at night with the fireworks, like everybody's seen that. What do you, so I thought we could just talk for a few minutes about it. Like for you personally, is it a thing that you do every year? Did you start it with your kids? Is it your personal interest?
So I will say it kind of started, I grew up in Utah, and I'd only been to Disneyland once all of growing up. And then I met my husband, married him, and moved to Kentucky. And he had a class, he's a dentist, and he had a class in Orlando and said, hey, do you want to come down? And I was like, okay. And our daughter was like 3 or 4 at the time, and went and did like a quick day trip. It was like 1,000 degrees outside, and it was fun. And then we didn't go back for years. And then our school districts do fall breaks. And I know a lot of them do now, but this was probably like 10 or 15 years ago, and not everybody was always doing them. And we're like, well, we should go somewhere for fall break. And Disney used to run these specials in October to kind of get people there, where they'd have really good ticket packages and give you free food and all this stuff. I mean, it still wasn't cheap, but it incentivized you a little bit more. And so we started going down, and then we tell our friends, and they're like, oh, that'll be fun. We'll go to fall break. And so then it kind of just ended up this thing that we probably went every other year for fall break. And then our kids' friends went, and then my friends went, and, the kids would run around by themselves. And then plus they do Halloween. So I was like, oh, and they got Halloween there too. So I was thinking about this. I think we like it is my husband cannot sit still. Like he is like, you put him on a beach and he is just gonna explode. He's just a busybody, would not sit on the beach all day. And so when we're looking at vacations, it's usually like a city walking active vacation or Disney. And I think as a creative person, I appreciate all the detail that goes in, because they have so many insanely creative people that work there. Like you walk down the street and there's little carvings on the window seals, and like all the merchandise is well designed. And so I think just like creatively, I get a lot of inspiration from it. And my husband just likes to be active, and there's something new every 2 minutes while you're there. So so that
fits everybody.
Yeah, it kind of fits. Like we've definitely had not great experiences there before, like any vacation, but for the most part, we've really enjoyed it. So
well, I've been doing like a little bit of research on it, because it's very overwhelming for somebody who's never been. And I don't have children. So I've actually, looked at it as an adult standpoint. Like I just want to do certain things. And I guess that's very doable. You could say you build your own little itinerary.
Yeah, no, I think so too. And like my husband and I still plan on going down. We're actually dropping our oldest daughter. We're driving from Kentucky to Utah next week, dropping our oldest daughter at grad school. And then we're going to fly to California and go to Disneyland. So my husband's never been to Disneyland. So we're going to do like a day or two at Disneyland, and then kind of poke around Southern California and see what there is. But I definitely think like I like a good date night. And, after a while, you can only go see so many movies, and, you tried all the restaurants in your town.
Yeah.
And Disney just makes it's like a fun date night. You can go on a ride, you can get a snack, you can go, like we love to like talk to the employees and just find out about them. And it's just kind of a fun thing to do. We don't like obsess over like, oh, we have to do every single little thing while we're here, because then you just get stressed out. So
yeah, because there's so much.
There's so much. Yeah, I will say if you're going for the first time, I would not go any summer-ish month. Like hit it, especially since you don't have, worry about school schedules. They definitely like November, February, that kind of a thing. So
yeah, go off those off times.
Yeah,
as much off time as it is for Disney.
Yeah, there's really not off time. And I would probably even wait a little bit, because they're mostly back to normal, but there's a couple of things that aren't back yet that it'll be, wait until.
I'll wait till it's all normal again at some point. I know. It's someday. The one more thing on that before we go is that you have gone in like sort of themed outfits. So do you do that because there's some sort of thing going on at the facility?
Yeah, we do. They have Halloween parties, and they're extra. So I actually told someone, so they limit the attendance usually for the Halloween parties. So if you're just buying tickets for like a few days, you might want to go to a Halloween party instead of going during the day, because it's at night and there's not as many people there. And everyone dresses up. Like the costumes, some of the costumes you see are unreal. Like you'd swear they walked off a movie set. But so it's just,
that'd be so cool.
So for years, I always made us all match, and then nobody wants to match anymore. So.
Oh, well, tell me a little bit about what are you working on now? What kind of current things are you doing?
Well, I was gonna say I've sent a bunch of ideas to Riley Blake for new fabric, and they haven't liked any of them. So I'm mostly kind of in my head trying to think of something that they might like. And just kind of finishing up summer projects. I have 3 or 4 Halloween like tutorials I want to get done and posted. I'm usually so bad about like posting Halloween stuff on like October 30th. So I'm trying really hard this year to like.
I do that too. It's like, I'm excited about it now, right?
Yes. So I'm trying. And then sometimes what I do is I do a lot of Halloween stuff and I burn myself out, and then it's Christmas, and Christmas, and blogging is huge. And I'm like, oh, I need more Christmas stuff. So I'm trying to figure out what I want to put out on the blog for Halloween and for Christmas. So, and then just a couple of pattern ideas I'd like to have time to kind of flesh out. But they're bags, and so I have to make a bunch of samples and try a bunch. It's a very process, trial and error kind of thing. So and then getting ready to drive my daughter to grad school. So mostly that right now.
So. That's another big thing. And are your twins in college as well?
So my one daughter, Sydney, she's 20. She's in college in Utah. And then her twin brother, Andrew, is actually in Houston, Texas. He's doing a church mission right now.
Oh, okay.
And he should be coming home in November. And then he'll go to college in Utah in January. So,
okay.
So they're spread all over the country.
Yes. You'll have to be doing lots of travel to go visit.
Yeah, my daughter was in Virginia. She was in DC. She wasn't real close to where we were. But she was in Virginia until COVID stuff. So now she's home. So.
I'm actually, if I get up at 6 a.m. Sunday morning, I could get down to the White House in maybe 20 minutes.
Oh, serious? Oh, I didn't realize, just if traffic's good.
Yeah, if there's no traffic, it's just, zip right down there. All the lights, you get on the highway. So
no, DC was such a fun place to live for her for a little while, and there's a lot to do. So.
It's a vibrant area. It's a lot of things, a lot of stuff going on. Yeah, when it's normal.
She just lost job, started anyway. It's the same story everybody house. Lost her job, moved on. So
it'll get back. One last thing. Is there something, because you've done a lot of different things, is there something you haven't tried that you want to try?
So when I was in high school, I took a sewing class. That's where I really learned to sew. And we did a unit on knitting. And I had the nicest, most patient sewing teacher. And as I did my knitting project, she just was like, honey, this is not for you. So I always kind of wish I could knit. I don't know, maybe I'll try it again.
Yeah.
Just older, more experienced, but I love the colors and the textures and patterns.
Oh,
And
yarn
yeah,
is like,
yarn. I mean, that's a whole nother thing to get
yeah,
into. So
I can
yeah, I can't
hyperventilate
do
in a
it.
yarn store. It's like, it's so gorgeous, but
Yeah, I can't do anything that requires any sort of physical coordination. So
right.
no sports, nothing like that. So
Oh, oh, well, Melissa, this has been so much fun to have you here to share. We're
to
having
ask
the
you and
best time with your sampler. I
oh,
love
thank
it.
you. Thank you. Yeah, I have a few after doing this. I have a few other ideas cooking up. So maybe we'll have to do another sample
Yes.
or something
Yes.
else. So
Yes, we will keep in touch. Everybody go and visit Melissa out at Polka Dot Chair, and in the below here at the description box, you can get all the links so that you can follow along because she has very cool stuff all the time. So, all right, everybody, I love you, and we will see you online. Let's kiss them goodbye, Melissa. Go. Mwah. Bye,
bye.
everybody.